Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, everybody. What's going on, everybody? Today is a great day to be alive, and
It
we're glad
sure
you're here.
is.
And guess what? Today's Monday,
Welcome.
and depending on where you're at, you might be preparing for the storm like we are. So, nevertheless, my name is Derek Forston, and welcome to the live broadcast. Don't wait to be great. Podcast, broadcast, all of that. Shay, tell the people who you are and what you do.
Well, good evening, everybody. I am Shanye Shea Forston, the president and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, co-founder here at Forston Consultants, expert consultant, all things independent living facilities from a for-profit and nonprofit perspective. And like Derek said, we've had a long day of prep, hurricane prep, and making sure that our household is ready for, and our houses are ready for what's to come. Praying that we don't see the worst of it all, but in everything,
absolutely.
Like I said,
you guys be praying with us too. So we're in the Orlando, Florida area. So we're expecting a storm Wednesday evening through Thursday morning. Yeah. So you guys be in prayer with us that all is well, including our ILFs.
Yes.
So, not only for our safety, but for the safety of the clients that we're housing. So if you love God, love people, and love real estate, you're in the right place, because this is exactly what we do. And this is exactly what we talk about. So even though we're facing a storm and we should be probably continuing to prep, we want to make sure that we're always consistent and that we're coming here to answer any questions that you guys have. And luckily for you all, there's already some questions that came in. So I got a lot of great content to start with. But by all means, if you have any questions about the ILF model, share, live, and let us know. Because again, here at Forston Consultants, we trademarked independent living facility. And that is simply a shared environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. And there is no state oversight either, right? So like your traditional group home or your traditional ALF, the assisted living facility, that stuff requires a license. You have to have staff, right? There's oversight from your city, sometimes your state. Right. But with the independent model, Shay, we're housing people that are absolutely independent. Yeah. And I always jokingly say they can cook their own bologna sandwich. They can take their own medications, and they can provide their own transportation most of the time through their own insurance, right? Or the local bus system. Correct. So again, essentially, guys, we're renting rooms to people, but have a lot of structure to it. Yes. So these are not boarding homes. These are not group homes. This is essentially us renting rooms to people that otherwise couldn't afford their own house or an apartment. But there's a lot of structure behind it that makes it run really smooth. Because otherwise, guys, this would be a circus. If you just rent rooms to people and allow just what I would call a free-for-all, this would be an absolute circus. And I'll admit, that's kind of what my program was in the beginning. Exactly. Until I learned that you had to put structure behind this. But again, the cheat code for this is that if you've ever imagined helping people being involved in real estate, you thought you had to have a license. You thought you had to own the property. Well, lucky for you, you've met us now. And our job is to show you how we do this without owning the property, without a license, and again, no state oversight. So if you love God, love people, and love real estate, we show you how to mesh all of those together. And tonight we're going to be here for about another 55 minutes. We're going to do that. We got things to do. We got a lot to do, and we still are prepping for the storm. So we are still going to try to give you guys an hour. So don't wait. If you got questions, you can put them in the chat now. And I'll give you a preference, right? So what we're going to explain does not require a license. It's similar to a group home, but you don't need the permission from your state, from your fire marshal and walkthroughs and all of that stuff, because we're housing independent adults. So if you got questions, how we do that, why we do that, why are we needed, right? And why is there not a license required for this? This is a great time to ask your questions. So, and again, welcome to all of my new people. If you're new to us, we got an absolute free gift that we want to give you. So write this down. Hopefully you guys got your phones or your iPads or your pencil and paper, but I'm going to give you guys a phone number. And if you just text the word new, just N-E-W, that's it, nothing else, N-E-W. If you text the word new to 407-326-0086, my team is going to send you an immediate text that's going to ask for your name and email address, and then we send you that ebook for free. That book is less than 60 days old, guys, and it will save your life, because it's titled Avoiding the 12 Dumbest Mistakes I Ever Made. And one of those includes that $40,000 lawsuit that I went through. so that you guys don't have to. So if you want that again, one more time, really slowly, text the word new, NEW, to 407-326-0086. All right.
All right, so let's get into it because
Now,
you've
other than
gotten
that,
some great questions today.
we're going to jump right into it. So even as I gear up these questions, we've said it, but I'll repeat it for anybody that just came and for the repeat folks or the folks that have watched the replay. An independent living facility, guys, is a housing model where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff. And one of the questions that we got tonight was actually, there's a couple of them. So let me do this in order. Actually, one person asks us, how do we decide what we charge?
I love
right.
that question.
So for people that are super new to us, we collect an income from our clients that is called SSI or SSDI, or they may have a job at Walmart, Sonny's Barbecue, Burger King, or McDonald's, or they could be a substitute school teacher. So they either have a guaranteed income from quote unquote the government, or they have a job.
Right.
And the way that we charge, guys, to make sure that this makes sense, and like the young folks say, the math had to be mathing, is that you want to be charging enough to where it makes sense for the client, it makes sense for your housing program, and there's a little bit of overage. Because, guys, we want to make a profit doing this too, right? This is not only a ministry, but it is also a business. So this is not a shelter where people live for free. This is where people have to have a guaranteed income, either through SSI, SSDI, some community funded program, some grant, or they have a job again at JCPenney's. Doesn't matter to us as long as they got a guaranteed income. So if you have a 4-bed, 2-bath home, that's 8 people that you're going to be able to take from homeless to hopeful. And Shay, if you want to bring us some pictures to show the people, but if you got a 4-bed, 2-bath home, that's 8 people. What can you charge 8 people to make all of this make sense? So again, I coach people, and I'll give y'all some free coaching right now. Depends on where you live at. You can do this in a few ways, right? And I'll just give one way that everybody can use. You guys can go to, just say, that's the coaching plans. You guys can go to Facebook Marketplace, and there's a lot of people that go in there and just simply rent rooms, right? So start from there. So at least it gives you a base of where you're going to start from. So go to Facebook Marketplace and look at what people are charging for shared or private rooms. So like Shay just put on that screen, this is what we would call a private room or a private suite. The only thing that differentiates the both of these is the private suite has its own bathroom, whereas the private room just has that bed by itself and there is no roommate. So probably 90% of the people at our house, Shay, and you can talk about yours, but 90% of the people at our house, they can't even afford this private room. So shared living model is mostly what I do. Now, Shay, talk about who you house and what's kind of the choice for housing or bedding when they call your phone.
Yeah. So for me, most of my rooms are private. I'm sitting here saying, what am I sitting on? I'm feeling like I'm sliding all over the place. But anyway, most of my residents are in private accommodations. I do have full private, a private room. I have a private suite. And there is a difference. The suite has an ensuite restroom, bathroom, bath, toilet, and shower. So 3-piece combo, toilet, sink, shower. The private room is just that. The bathroom is a shared facility, right? A shared accommodation for all ladies in the house. But then I do also have my master, which I talked about on Saturday. My master is, in fact, a 2-person room. I try not to hold up the master, which most times has a restroom, for only one individual. So I house women, and I like to kind of split the difference when it comes to the restroom situation, because as women, we can be a little bit extra when it comes to getting ready in the morning and needing that time. So that's what I do, Derek. And are we going into pricing, or you just want to know about the types of rooms I have?
Just the types of rooms, because pricing is actually is the next question, and that's going to be different for everybody.
Yeah.
But in pricing, again, you just want to make sure that you're making enough money that you're paying the lights, the water, the cable, like all of the utilities, because we're known as a one-stop shop. So in the ILF model or this shared housing model, guys, we're known as a one-stop shop. So when people come to you, they're not going to pay like light bill and water bill and Wi-Fi bills. You charge them one set fee. You're known as a one-stop shop, and that makes it easy for your tenants, right? But you're going to cover all bills. So, and I'll just throw out some numbers right now. I have a house that's what, $1,800 a month, and it's a 4-bed, 2-bath home. So if I'm full, only if I'm full, and I do private rooms, I do private suites, I do shared, but just for the math and to make this easy, let's just say I charge $800 per bed,
Okay.
and it's 2 beds per room. Guys, 8 times 8 is 6,400.
Yeah.
So again, 8 people times 800, and I'm covering all the lights, the water, the cable, the Wi-Fi, the security system, the cameras, everything's on me. So for only $800 in Orlando, you can't go and live nowhere else this nice. So what I'm trying to tell you guys, without saying it, I'm the cheat code for people that have a limited income, right? And they can't afford their own apartment. They can't pass a background check. They don't have first, last, and security, and they surely can't buy a house. Yeah. So some people don't want to share a room, so that's why we got the private accommodations. But for some people that are used to this kind of living, $800 all day long works. Yeah. And if I got 8 people, guys, that's $6,400 minus the $1,800 that I just told you. And yes, I got lights and water and Wi-Fi and some insurance. But can you imagine? And you can already see the profit that's built into that. Yeah. So that's why this is so genius, like the way that this is set up. This is ministry, guys. Yes, it's a business. Yes, it involves real estate. But the Bible says the poor and needy will always be among us. So we're simply doing God's will through real estate. Sure.
I do have a question for you because you just gave us a number, right? What got you to that price point? Like what really helped you to make that decision in pricing? I think a lot of people get stuck there, right?
When I got into it, Shay, it was kind of easy for me because everybody that was around me at the time when I started was charging like $750 to $800 a bed. I came in as the new guy, guys, and I'll admit, I tried to charge that, but people was like, Derek, I thought you was going to be different. You said you was going to be different and all this. So, guys, I'll admit, I started at $600. And for me, $600 still made it profitable, but it made it very affordable for the people I was serving. And Shay, the case managers and social workers lost their minds and went crazy over it. And that's how I kind of took over in the beginning. So, again, guys, I kind of came in and undercut everybody. And then we eventually kept kind of going up. But Shay, I used the barometer, if you will, of what everybody else was charging and went right under that.
But also, too, you made a very a great point when you said that you were still profitable, right? And I think a lot of people fail to realize or know how to calculate that. And honestly, you've got to figure out what does that look like in your area based on the income of those individuals coming in, right? As well as the overhead. What is it going to cost you to operate this facility on a monthly basis and be able to have some cushion, right? I tell people all the time, your first house is not going to be your $1 million money maker. That is going to help you to kind of navigate this space a little bit, really be able to fluctuate your pricing, make sure that you're priced appropriately, make sure it's going to give you a pretty much like an overview of what the market looks like for you in that specific area. You're going to be able to see from the calls you're getting, what people are making, what's their income. Let all of that stuff guide you in making the correct decision on your pricing structure, right? Don't get so big-headed that you want to be, I'm going to make an extra, the numbers sound great when you say 8 beds for $800, right? Per bed.
But what if that's too high for your city?
Right, exactly. Right? And your rooms may be too small to facilitate 2 beds. So how do you make that work, right? So you have to be cognizant of those things. And that's why we do a very, very, very detailed job when we're doing your coaching or that one-on-one consulting. We want to be a part of that. When you start going out and looking at properties, when you start going out and having those conversations with, landlords and property owners, or if you are the property owner, let's assess your property to make sure, 1, it's suitable for a shared living environment, 2, that you have the room enough to facilitate or accommodate 2 beds in a room. What we don't want you to do is have people in a sardine tin living on top of each other. That defeats the whole purpose of housing people in the Forston Consulting model. Our model is a place that is comfortable, it's spacious, it gives people their own, it gives them a sense of dignity, even though they are in a shared living environment. You want to make sure that they, that they're being, that they're comfortable, that they're safe and they're comfortable. So that's how we make our decisions for the most part. Back to you,
Good
Ty.
stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. So I also just put in the chat, check Facebook Marketplace to see what people are renting their private rooms for.
Yeah.
That'll give you a good idea of where to start from. So I wanted just to say that in a regular sentence because that was a question.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to answer that. Check Facebook Marketplace to see what people are renting that private room for so that you can get an idea of what you may charge.
Yeah.
Another thing is asking other social workers and case managers in the area an idea of what their clients, excuse me, guys, are already used to paying.
Mhm.
So, and I often tell people, if you're afraid to call in your regular name and your regular business, that day, if your name is Miss Brenda, that day your name is Miss Mary. And you're going to say, good morning. May I speak to the director of social work? My name is Miss Mary. And I would just like to, I have a question.
Mhm.
Boom, and just kind of go into that, right? And there's a lot of ways that can be presented, but essentially just the bottom line to it, ask them what their clients are used to paying for a shared or a private room. And again, that'll give you an idea of where you need to start it because you don't want to be too high and you definitely don't want to be too low to where you're cutting yourself at. A lot of people worry about being too high. You also don't want to be too low, right? Because truth be told, when I got into it, that 600, that was really low. Nobody was charging that. But like I told you, it was profitable.
Yeah.
And it blew the minds of social workers and case managers that I was charging such a price. So that kind of put me in the high rankings and say, hey, let's call Derek.
Right. Yeah.
And let's call Second Chance Housing.
Correct.
Right. So that's the way they view me because they view me as a no-brainer because again, if you know the beginning of my story, I saw a lady doing this, y'all, making 41 grand a month. But she was housing people in rats and roaches, and it just looked bad. Like, and I'm gonna show y'all a few pictures of it. But when I saw that, and that lady was charging 800 with bed bugs, rats, and roaches, and people beds on the ground,
no sheets.
I was like, oh my God, if I come in here and charge 600, I'm gonna be a no-brainer.
But you gotta let them know the real
no sheets, no pillows, no comforter. Like, I say that so much, it's like I almost take it for granted that you guys know that, but please, if you've never seen our original webinar, go find out where all of this came from, right? And you can do that by texting the phrase more info to 407-326-0086. Again, if you text the phrase more info to the phone number 407-326-0086, that'll give you our introductory webinar, right? And it is free. And it also allows you to get a free discovery call to talk about how can we get you started in terms of where you live at, right? Also on the screen, if you guys text that same phone number, ILF bundle, that'll give you guys a good starting point of where you guys should start at. That involves a mini course and 2 ebooks. And we call it our ILF bundle. It's only $97 and it comes with a free discovery call. You can do that. Text the same phone number, 407-326-0086. And let's keep it going. So there's another question that came in, actually same family. And let's pull it up. And guys, don't forget, if you got questions about this model, how it's ran, put it in the chat. We literally have about 39 more minutes left in this room. So another question was, just in case if you're in a zone where there's a hurricane or super bad weather conditions where you're where you're required to evacuate, I'll admit, we're blessed. We've never been in that situation yet because it may happen. But I do know the protocol. So if you're in a situation or area where they're asking you to evacuate, flood zones and all of that, and they talk about category 4 and 5 and all of that stuff, I hate to say it, but you may, and this is why we talk about being a good steward
of finances,
because what if you got to pay for a hotel for 2 or 3 days or 2 weeks, right? So if you're in an area that is causing you or calling you for you to evacuate, it's your responsibility to try to get those clients to a better place. Because remember, you're running that establishment. That's your place. That's your responsibility to get them somewhere safer, especially if it's in your means to do so. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's why we talk about being a good steward of your finances. And I'll even say this, whether that's cash money that you saved up or that credit card that you never touched for that rainy day for situations just like this. So in our land, in case Shay, if you had something.
No, and I just think it's very imperative that we realize what we're doing, right? The goal is to we're not just running some, housing situation. We're actually being good stewards, especially with our residents. And like even during COVID, we had COVID protocol. For hurricanes, there are hurricane protocols. You want to make sure that your houses have what's necessary, i.e., access to flashlights, right? My team, I think they sent it out to go today, sends out messaging on what needs to be strapped down, any outdoor furniture, where it needs to go, where they need to put it. And if they need any assistance with those things, to let us know. Like today, I went and met with my ladies, met with some of my ladies to inform them of what's going on, how to handle it, what I'm not doing and why, and just explaining to them, what does the after look like, right? Because we're not in what we would consider an evacuation zone, although we will have hurricane force winds. Right. And all of that stuff. So my goal is to prepare them of things that they'll have to, may see. So like prime example, I told them I'm not concerned about the roof. We just got a brand new roof. Anything happens to it, it's still under warranty, and we do have insurance, right? Their fear was, will we have any flooding and anything like that? And I said, no, you guys are actually, we're in Orlando, Orange County, and we're in an area that's deemed the highest elevation in Orange County. So,
and actually, funny enough too, right behind that particular rental property, ILF, there's a huge, I'm not even sure what you call it, but I say an empty lake. Right, where things drain down into. So there's a lot of room for wash off, if that's the right term, or flooding water. But Shay, back on you.
So again, it's just having those things prepared. And to my ILF family, I will be going live very quickly after this, while we're en route to the store, or as soon as I get back. I'm going to do it from my cell phone. Hopefully, it will record and stay in the group. But I will be going live to kind of run through some of that stuff. So for those of you that have, that are in flood zones, that are in evacuation zones, that have been reaching out to us personally, just go ahead and make sure that you have it. What is your plan? Make sure that you have an emergency plan and that all of your residents are aware of it. If you're using digital flow solutions and your tenants have text messaging capabilities, go ahead and send out some text messages of, make sure the windows are closed, or make sure that, fill up tubs with water, right? That's
freeze some bottled waters in case if you want cold water and all the power's going out, right? So
those are
those little things like that,
right? And the reason why I say fill up the tub with water, because Lord forbid, something happens with water, they can actually use that as potted water for the toilet, or possibly to boil stuff with once, power comes back on. So just know that there are some things that, that can happen. And I will be talking about that a little bit more in detail with our private communities and families, so that you all are aware and abreast. This kind of took us by surprise real quick. So we've actually been in prep for our church conference. So we haven't been able to really facilitate anything, with our ILF family, because we've been, focused on conference, which was, had to make some changes for that. So just know that I will be going live right after this to inform you all of what to do if you're in evacuation zones and how you can get that done. But that's
and also just a big shout out to all of my ILF owners. I just want to give you guys some extra tips. Tonight's topic is setting up your independent living facility. It's crazy how this title was already picked before this storm even came. So I'm going to turn this into the storm edition. And Shay is really good about this stuff. So and Shay, if you got links to this stuff, or you can tell them where you got it. But Shay bought these little miniature flashlights that all of her women individually can have one. And I mean, when you hit the button, it light up a whole room. LED, and guys, it's only about 4 inches long, about 3 inches in diameter, but it's got these LED lights in it. You need to stock up on batteries. And if you're too late for this stuff this time, no problem, next time. But all of us still have today and tomorrow. Because guys, remember, if you're in Central Florida or that Tampa area, We're not expecting anything to go crazy until like Wednesday
afternoon,
evening, they
said.
said. So you still got time, but batteries, AA, AAA, flashlights. Shay also bought us these things that I'm gonna just call it a lantern, but it's a modern day lantern, not what you would think about as a lantern as back in the day with the candle and the wick. But now they got them where they're the LED lights, and as soon as you pull it, it almost like separates, and you walk around with it. Like you can literally just set those up. Yeah. Another thing, Shay, I don't know what you call them, but that light switch thing.
They look like little light switches. You can even
go grab that maybe and show them. But
mobile, so you can place them in specific areas.
So all these things have LED lights.
So they're in the restrooms. So those light switches are in the restrooms and in different areas where they may need to go, and they can carry them around. So again, and what I am going to talk about is what does that hurricane kit look like, right? When we first got in this, we were very, 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 and that's what happens when things don't happen. So guess what, ILF Association? This is another policy and protocol that you all will get in your in all of the paperwork.
Just like when COVID came out years ago, man, we had a whole protocol for that.
And that was something that we were asked for protocol. And thank God that I had it created before we even ever asked for it. Like we had a whole COVID protocol and we modified it every couple of months, every couple of weeks to literally tell people where we were at, what we were doing. If a client did come down with COVID, what did that look like? Right. How did we walk through that? That happened. We had to, and remember, we did shared living. So at any given time, we could have had 6 or 5 or a number of people in the house and have one with COVID. And what did that look like in regards to a shared room, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to have all of those policies
absolutely
available.
So back to the topic. And don't forget, guys, if you guys got questions, let us know. We have about 30 minutes left for tonight. But also, there was questions that came from the Lion family. And that's why tonight's topic was what it was, right? If that's good English. Setting up your independent living facility. And they were not asking in terms of how we usually start talking about set up your business and get an LLC and CRM. They was talking about what do you put in this place. So we want to talk about that. We haven't talked about that in a long time. So guys, remember, you are a one-stop shop. So just like this picture that you see on screen right now, all that stuff on us, the bedding, which we'll get from Walmart or Roses or Ross or Marshalls. Those are usually my favorite. Again, really slowly, Walmart, Roses, Marshalls, Ross. Those are going to be usually the places that I'm going to get a lot of my stuff from. With the number one from that list is probably Walmart. And because I live close to Roses, ROSES, and we love it, it's a downgrade from Ross. Very affordable. You can buy everything from an ILF there. I love those too. So out of everything that I named, the order probably still goes Walmart, Roses, right? Even down to our chemicals, and our dishwashing soap, the Pine Sol, the bleach. A lot of that stuff is still coming from that place. But to start this place, you're going to obviously need beds. And in the order of things, I tell people, don't worry about the couch and the love seat and that recliner first. We're housing people because they need a place to sleep at night. So we can worry about the flat screen TV, the couch, and that recliner later. Most importantly, let's get these twin beds or the full size bed. Or if you do all private rooms, maybe you do queen size. I don't know. That's a choice for everybody, right? So again, a lot of people that decide to do those private rooms, they don't do our little bitty twin beds. They said, Dick, I don't want no twin beds. I said, well, no problem. In fact, Katara, if you're here, let us know. But I think I saw your pictures. You didn't put twin beds in that place. I think you went full. So all of this is a personal preference, guys. And I agree with that. If I got one room, and especially if it's smaller, guys, I'm probably going to put that full-size bed in there too, because a lot of people donate things to us. Now, I will admit, I teach you guys to do this in a very affordable way. And so many people donate headboards and twin beds to us. I'll admit, guys, I do a lot of twin beds. But every now and again, somebody donates a queen size, a full size, or now what we're seeing a lot of lately is the guy or the gal that says, Derek, I don't want your twin bed. In fact, Derek, I got my own bed. Can I bring it? Absolutely. Shay, do you mind if anybody bring a bed to your place?
No, I have people that do it.
Absolutely. So it's often funny when they say, well, Derek, I don't want this little bed, man. Derek, I got my own bed. No problem. And just like Katara just said, yes, I have full-size beds in my private rooms.
Yeah.
So again, Katara is somebody that's in that South Carolina area. And Katara, I pray that you guys are cool down there too with all that they went through down there in South and North Carolina. Right? So, and just real quick too, Katara, just so that, anybody that's new, tell the people in the chat what's the name of your program and where you're located and how many facilities do you have, Katara? And one more thing, why did you decide to do private rooms and not do everybody 2 per room?
Yeah.
I want that question to be answered actually from somebody else. Big shout out to Charmaine, who I also see in this chat too. Yep, been purchasing my house supplies from Roses. Good job, Charmaine. And I'm sure Charmaine and I talked about that. How else would she know unless she's a lover of roses already?
Right. Exactly, yeah.
So most people that I talk to, if they haven't heard of roses, like I blow their mind when I tell them about it because I've seen that store, but I never went in it. Guys, I love roses, right? So again, beds. I'm also and beds is going to come from Facebook Marketplace, gently used. So bed rails and beds, that's going to be Facebook Marketplace. And if you've been around my coaching for the last, I'll say 4 to 6 months, you know now that we don't do the rails anymore. Mm-hmm. We buy the twin beds that is that one platform. So that way now I got room to put them 10-inch totes under the bottom that just slide in and out.
Yes, sir.
Right? So now we got opportunity for storage. Right? So I can put that in my advertisement that not only do I provide a safe housing structure, but I also got storage. And that is simply because I don't do bed rails, but I got the bed that's lifted up off the ground and it can fit a box that's 18 inches high. So now we got storage containers that can go under the bed now. So when they make their beds up, you can't even see it. In fact, I need to put some pictures of that because I haven't taken any pictures of the newer beds. But after that, comforter and pillows, Walmart and Roses. I can usually go to Roses, guys, and get a 2-pack of pillows for like $5, right? After that, I'm going to do small things like pictures on the wall because I want to make it look a little homey, right? I'm a guy, so I ain't crazy about decor, but I like to make it look nice.
A little homey.
But watch this. I also want to get the plates, the cups, the spoons, the forks, the knives, the coffee maker, the toaster, all of that stuff's on me. And you can go to Walmart or Roses, or you can go to a thrift shop.
Yes. They always have coffee
when
makers.
You're really trying to save money, Shay, I send people to a thrift shop.
They have
and they always have what?
The coffee makers.
Why is that?
I don't know. Because everybody been upgraded.
Probably because it's so affordable. You can get a brand new coffee maker now, y'all, for $14.99. I mean the regular size one too. But if you really trying to pinch your pennies, why not go to the thrift store and get it for $4? Yeah. And the coffee mugs for $1 a piece. Right? So again, now we're talking silverware, cups, plates, spoons. And some of y'all don't think it is, but the small stuff like the plunger for the bathroom. Yeah. Your client not going to buy that. So guess what happens when it gets stopped up, Charmaine?
Oh, Jesus.
And you don't got that $4 plumber from Home Depot.
Plunger.
Man, right. It's going to be a mess. So don't forget about the bathroom scrubber that scrubs the toilet. You want them to keep the place clean, right? So you got to buy the mop, the broom, the dustpan. So now we're talking about the cleaning stuff, the utility type stuff. Every one of our houses, including hers, has a closet for dustpan, mop, broom, chemicals, and supplies. Am I lying?
Nope.
Sometimes it's going to be in the utility room, but if you got a house like Shay, she got a separate closet for it.
I have two.
One of my ILFs, well, actually, most of mine do, got a closet where I keep all of that stuff in. Mm-hmm. So this is how you set this place up. You got to turn on the lights in your water. Now, just in case if you didn't know it, when I first started, y'all, I had bad credit. So they charged me for a water deposit and a light deposit. For you folks that got good credit, you just call it down there and just turn it on. Yeah. No charge. But be prepared that if your credit isn't up to par, they may charge you $250, $350 on both of those. Guys, I had to pay them both just to be in business. And all of these costs is what we call the cost of doing business. Because some of y'all say, well, damn, but I got to buy all that. Yeah, man, it's the cost of doing business. This is one of these businesses, y'all. In fact, every business that I know, you got to spend money before you make any money, right? That's any business. Yeah. No different from this one. And that's why I think that the blessing is also built into it because God see y'all trying. God see that you done went out and rented a place. You furnished it, put all these plates and cups in it. You got beds and furniture in it for other people that hope to God they pay your rent. Now I'm jokingly saying that, but I'm serious.
Yeah.
That's business. I don't care if you sell chocolate chip cookies, you do fish fries, or you house the homeless. All of it, you got to go and buy the stuff to get started. You got to go catch the fish.
That's called
go buy the oil.
That's the seed fund.
That's the seed.
Seed fund.
Okay.
You got to have seed
the
fund.
Early rounds, like straight in the beginning.
Rounds. Yes, sir.
So again, setting up your independent living facility, this is what it takes. Turn on them lights and water. Get them beds in there. Let's get the furniture in there. Now let's build relationships with social workers and case managers to get the people in it. Okay? So if there's any questions about the setup, I know that was fast. And that wasn't on the business side about LLC and get a business address. That's not this today.
Right.
The Lyons family asked about what goes into place. Most importantly, I didn't say it yet, but a fire extinguisher.
Oh, you preaching.
A smoke detector.
You're preaching.
Some of these raggedy houses that we renting where the landlord don't fix nothing ain't even got a smoke detector, y'all. So guess what? I go to Amazon and buy the 4-pack that don't even have to wire into the electronic. It's got a battery shade and a sticker. I put it right on the wall.
Yep.
Because I got a house like that, y'all. The landlord rented it to me, raggedy. I'm doing more fixing on it than he is.
Yep.
And I noticed that there were no smoke detectors. One of my guys cooking his little tacos on Tuesday, and he leave the stove on.
That's not good.
That happened before, guys. I got pictures to prove it. I've been in this game so long, y'all, that y'all can't name a situation I haven't seen.
Well, we don't want to.
Burnt down kitchens, people passing away, people leaving without paying rent. I mean, you name it. I've seen it. So that's why we tell people, man, who better to learn this from than us? I used to be the social worker. Now I'm the guy on this side of it. Okay? So again, not rocket science. Thankfully, God showed me a lady that was making $41,000 a month doing this, y'all. She was just housing people and rats and roaches. A complete mess.
A hot, stinking mess.
And I said, God, if you let me get in this, not only will I tell it to other people, but I won't take any credit. God, I'll tell them that you the reason for it. You is how I got into it, and I'll teach it all over the world.
What kind of English
and
is
again,
that?
y'all, I don't know. I'm a country boy from Payne City. And I'll never take any credit. And that's what I do 3 days a week here. Monday, Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern. And if you miss a room, just go back to our YouTube channel, click that button that says live, and you can watch all of our recordings. They're all re-recorded. Some of these rooms go 3 and 4 and 5 hours long the further you go down. Right. But here lately, we try to keep you guys at right in an hour. So you guys got about 20 more minutes. We're going to take some questions. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the live podcast, Don't Wait to Be Great. I'm your host, Derek, and we're talking about shared housing, which we've coined the phrase and trademarked independent living facility. And that is simply an environment where adults are able to live and thrive. Not kids, but adults 18 and up can live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So, let's see. Katara answered that question for us. Katara said that she's 311 Solutions in Columbia, South Carolina. They got 2 ILFs working on number 3.
Come on,
and
number 3.
She is a coaching client of ours, and we call you guys family. So Katara's our family member. So she also answered that other question. She chose private rooms because the size, exactly what Shay was talking about, of the bedrooms, and because we had a lot of requests for private rooms from our working residents.
See, here is what, again, so this is the powerful thing about it, right? My population has completely shifted. Derek, yours is teeter-tottering. It's trying to go, it's not really swinging in one direction. You're still kind of towing the line between the population types. But it's exciting to see that so many people are seeing, well, not exciting, because it's really not exciting, but it's obvious that the population for the shared living or shared housing environment is completely different than what it was a few years ago. Right? You're now seeing, like Katara said it, the working individual. Can I tell you something though? What I love, and Katara, you can probably attest to this, is seeing the community for the working individuals, how they tend to get along a little bit better, a little bit more cohesively than our regular, our mental health or behavioral health clients or residents. You see a difference in the community that they foster. A lot of relationships, like I have two ladies that I am that currently reside in one of my houses, and they fostered such a great relationship. And it's because one, they're able to relate to the situation, the circumstances where they're at right now, and they're there to support each other through it. And that's one of the things that you'll really be able to kind of take a breath, like it's like a breath of fresh air when you see people that can get along and help minister to one another in the circumstances that they're in and help pull each other up. So it's pretty cool to see, that we're not the only ones seeing the shift in population, right? We're seeing it across the board, what that looks like. And with that being said, with that population shift transitioning, you've got to be not more creative, but you have to think outside the box when it comes to resident recruitment. And I think that's where you have to be very, 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 very creative, right? It's not always the hospitals. It's not always the mental health facilities. It's outside of that, right? It's your Facebook marketplaces. It's your social media posts. All of that stuff is what can help contribute to helping find people to fill your bed.
That's it. And to the Lion family, you guys asked that question about, what did you see, Derek, when you were in this right here? Burnt up kitchens, beds on the ground, and people still living in these places. The same lady that I'm telling you guys that was making $41,000 a month doing this is what some of her places look like, right? And here's another picture, again, how beds are on the ground, no sheets, no pillow, like no pillowcase, and the bed is on cinder blocks. To date, that is the worst picture that always plagues my mind. That bed that is on cinder blocks.
And the gentleman that was in
Lord have mercy.
Remember? He was having
that. We got this guy on tape. Now, ILF Bachelor Blueprint members, you guys can see this video, but I never actually put the gentleman on here. Right. But this was his room. So you remember that? Right. How we recorded him, how he talked about he was just so thankful when we took it over. This is a facility, y'all, that we took over.
I was about to say, let's talk about that a little bit. So what ends up happening a lot of times for Forston consultants is that case managers and social workers run into deplorable conditions, and then they will kind of try to course correct people and send them our way for either coaching or for us to step in and kind of assist them. In this instance, that was not the case. The family that was running this home got to the point where the case manager and social worker kind of, did a handoff, told us what was going on. But when we told them what it was going to do to bring their place up to standards, they decided that they didn't want it anymore. And they were just like, here, like they own the house. So they now became our landlords per se, and required rent. And we went in, we did all the fixing, we did all the updating, and literally it's not like it was not affordable for them, right? I don't even think they had a mortgage on the house. The house was full. So again, it's not that hard to go buy some bed frames, guys. Like you can get bed frames off of Amazon for like $40. Right?
You go marketplace and get it for $20.
You can just tell somebody
sometimes they give them away for free.
Right, exactly.
Because like right now, I have free bed frames because I've reversed all of my homes from that. So I'll admit I got garages full of them. Mm-hmm. What about the guy that's just getting started? He can get these for free.
Yeah.
Right? So again, guys, we often say that this isn't rocket science, man. This is just a matter of the heart sometimes. right?
sir.
Yes, y'all need coaching to get into this. Yes, you got to be guided the right way. But this is more of a heart issue that when you go from what you see on the screen now to something like this or something like that, that's not a educational thing. This is a heart issue, guys.
You more hungry for money.
How can you make $41,000 a month, show up to my house, put in your red bottom shoes and your Gucci outfit, and be housing people in conditions that look like this?
It's ridiculous.
The devil is a liar, right? We're not doing that, guys. So again, this is shared housing. You don't need a license. You don't have to own the property, and there is no state oversight.
Yep.
Right? So if you ever dreamed of starting your own housing program, you thought it had to be a group home or an APD or an ALF, it don't have to be, y'all. This is an ILF, independent. And that's what makes this so different. So essentially, because they're independent, I'm just renting this guy a room, right? But not this room that you see on the screen. It's going to look like this.
Or even just
right?
a room.
Or the way I also love to talk about this, because I'm just so honest, guys, guess what? My houses always ain't going to even look this nice, because these guys are messy. They get a little out of hand. But what we're not going to do is go back to stuff like this. We're not doing this, and we're not doing that. I can put up with you being a little messy, but your bed will not be on the ground, and we will not be mistreating you with rats and roaches running through the place. And she told the people, either you sleep in here or you sleep outside.
Yeah.
Just deal with it. Guys, we ain't doing that, man. This is ministry. Yes, it's real estate. Yes, it's a business. I got an LLC. She's nonprofit. But the Bible says the poor and needy will always be among us. And how cool is it that God is allowing us to take care of these people through real estate?
Yeah.
Put a number 7 in the chat if that makes sense to you. If you love God, love people, and love real estate, put a number 7 in the chat. Put a number 7 in the chat if you've always wanted to do something like this, but you didn't know where to start. You found us now.
I'm telling you.
And one thing that we're not going to let you guys do is procrastinate, because procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to do. Let's take a commercial break. We're going to take our last few questions. We're going to talk to the Lion family about our coaching products, because they want to know about that. And then we're going to get you guys out of here. So Dennis, in this independent living facility model, right, which y'all call ILFs, what kind of residents can I house in this kind of model? David, that's a great question. And that's actually what makes the ILF model so great, is because it's flexible. So prime example, you can house military veterans, elderly adults, women that are escaping domestic violence, and the list goes on and on and on. So Dennis, where do you get your residents from? I see you guys on TikTok and Facebook, you guys getting all of these houses. Like, where in the world are you getting these people from? Yeah, that's actually pretty easy. Forston Consultants teaches us to use social media such as Instagram, Facebook, to let people know who we are, what we do, but probably most importantly, who do we serve? And we do that very consistently. So every day, 7 days a week, there's something being posted about what we do and who we serve, but also building relationships with social workers and case managers. Again, letting them know who we are, what we do, and most importantly with them, that we're available. Dennis, how in the world are you able to do this without a license, bro? David, remember the reason why we don't need a license, because remember, the clients that we serve, they're independent. So that means that they can take their own medications, they can provide their own transportation, and they can cook and provide their own food. Dennis, man, you seem to know a lot about this independent living stuff, man. How do you know so much? Well, first of all, I graduated from Forston Consultants University, and I have a master's degree in independent living facilities. And I join the Forston crew every Monday on YouTube at 6 p.m. Eastern. They go live, and that guy Derek, man, he give the game away. So I'm always there. So Dennis, what in the world are the requirements to get started with something like this? The only requirement for this, David, is a big heart for God, his people, and the love for real estate. That's it. And bro, don't think I ain't listening, because I am listening. But where can I find more information like this at, man? Because I really want to get started, man. David, if I were you, I'd follow Derek Forston on Facebook and TikTok, and then I'd follow Forston Consultants on everything else in terms of Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. Again, really slowly, David, because you're hard-headed. I'd follow Derek Forston at Facebook on his personal page. I'd follow him on TikTok, but I will also follow Forston Consultants on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget, David. Hey, Dennis, man, I really appreciate that, man. I'm going to do exactly what you told me to do. I'm going to follow Forston Consultants on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. No problem. All right. We are back, and thank y'all so much for being here. We super appreciate it. We got about another 10 minutes or so. So I want to break down our coaching packages for the Lion family and anybody that just kind of wanted to know what we offer. So even though we always tell people there's 4 ways to get into what we do. The first way is kind of what you're listening to right now. Is our Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday rooms that are absolutely free. I promised God over 8 years ago that if he allowed me to get into this and quit my job, and go from making 28 grand a year to possibly making 28 grand a month and more, that I will go all over the world sharing it, and I'll never take any credit. So that's what I do 3 days a week for free. Now, if you want to be family, if you want the coaching, if you want me to hold your hand, we got 3 products in terms of how that works. The first one is the ILF Mastery Blueprint. That's our hand-holding product. That's the one that comes with everything that we offer, everything from your website, your CRM system, your phone system, your social media, your website build out logo, the virtual assistant, all the paperwork, all the documents, all the coaching, everything you can imagine, guys, all the curriculum. That's the ILF Mastery Blueprint. That's for life coaching, right? That one kind of don't end unless you leave us or you decide to go start mowing grass or something. If you change your mind. Other than that, we call that one for life coaching. The ILF Accelerator, guys, is a 6-month program. It's identical to the ILF Mastery Blueprint. The only thing that's not involved in this one is the virtual assistant, and there's no logo build out. So the logo, we don't build it unless you want to upgrade to get it. There's no VA unless you want to upgrade to get it. And this is a hard stop at 6 months. So this is for people that maybe already have the property, or maybe feel like they got a good grasp on what this is already, and say, well, Derek, I don't need you for life, but give me the best 6 months of your life, Derek, and still build my website. Give me all that paperwork, Derek. Give me everything else in that other package, and I'll be good in 6 months. That was only 3 grand. And then we got the do-it-yourself version. Now, I'll admit, this one got a sale going on right now. You can get the do-it-yourself version, guys, for $497, right? So for $497, you get everything again. You just don't get me as the personal coach. But what's so cool about this one is that it's got a 5-week coaching that I did that's recorded. That's the same teaching that I give the ILF Mastery Blueprint members, right? But instead of giving it to them for life, I give it to you over 5 weeks, and each one of those weeks are 3 hours long. So that's what I'm excited about with the DIY, because a lot of people are getting the DIY and then they're buying coaching hours and then they're adding the VA on the side. But all your documents, we still build your website and give you the CRM system, every book, every curriculum, every course that we have, you get it. All of the documents, the paperwork, everything. The only thing you don't get is me, right? You just can't pick up the phone and call me like the other 2 packages. The other 2 packages, you'll have my phone number. This is for the people that say, well, Derek, I don't need you like that, bro. But still give me the paperwork, give me that website, and I'll upgrade and get me a VA, Derek. And for $497, this is an absolute cheat code. So again, if you want that, all you gotta do is text the word WOW. WOW. Text the word WOW to the phone number 407-326-0086. And I'm gonna put it in the chat for you. So that's 407. I'll even put the instruction text WOW, just that one word, nothing else. If you text WOW to 407-326-0086, my team will send you that information. We'll see it and we'll send you the invoice for only the $497. We're only doing this for a limited amount of time. So we'll probably only take the next 4 or 5 people on this one, and then we'll cut that off. But for right now, if you text the word WOW, you can actually get our do-it-yourself version, guys, for only $497. All right. Other than that, that's it. Those are our coaching packages. All right, right here just kind of breaks them down in terms of what's all involved in it. You guys can read this at your leisure. Take a picture of it. But again, all the coaching, the business consultant, the logo, the website, the VA, the HRA. I forget to talk about that. The HRA, Business in a Box, is also involved in that. So some of y'all, well, actually all of you all will start out with the HRA, which stands for Housing Referral Agency, which allows you to do exactly what we do, but you don't need the real estate. You don't have to buy a house or rent one or lease one. You can use relationship. And that whole business in a box is called the HRA Business in a Box. That's inside of here, right? So all the paperwork, all the contents, all the ebooks, Oh, and those exclusive communities, right? Then the accelerator, again, the only difference is it's 6 months, not for life. You still get the website, all the paper, all the contents, how to get the property. The MSI group coaching, guys, again, to me, that's the cheat code to most of these packages,
Right,
man.
yeah.
Even when you don't have me, is those 5 weeks of coaching that we recorded. And that's called Move at the Speed of Instruction Coaching.
Mm-hmm.
That alone, guys, is $4,500 by itself. We recorded it and we put it inside of this for you. So again, that's only $3,000. And again, today, if you text the word WOW, WOW, to the phone number that's on your screen, you can actually get the do-it-yourself version, guys, for only $497. And you still get the website, the CRM, the HRA, business in the box, the ILF paperwork. Shay, you know how many people call us and just want our paperwork? This is now finally a package to where they don't have to get me. The paperwork's involved in this, Shay. And Shay, as you know, the paperwork costs more than $497. So again, guys, the MSI group coaching, again, is the cheat code to this package, because again, without me, but I give you 5 weeks of 3 hours each. So again, those are our packages, again, for free, Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday, right here on YouTube. So subscribe, like it, and share it. Tell your pastor, tell your priest, tell your bishop about it, tell your homegirl, right?
Notification bell.
Hit that notification bell so that every time we come on, you never miss a room. All right. So in the next 3 minutes, I'm going to answer this last question, and I'm going to remove this from the screen because you guys don't need all of that stuff. You guys are smart people. And let's see. Shay said it was one more question.
Right here.
Oh, I like this one. Nikki says, how do you deal with messy clients? By the book and very carefully. And I can break it down even further, then I'll let Shay go. Everything that we do is by rules. So, and Nikki, you're an IMB member, so you know this, right? The rule book that we gave you, page number 6, that's what our whole program is surrounded by. If they can follow rules on page number 6, they can stay in my program until they're 119 years old. I don't have a limit, right? But if they do not follow these rules and they're messy, I'm just going to act accordingly to what I've already told them day one. Because, Nick, if you remember, you ain't got here yet in your coaching, but as soon as I'm interviewing Tyrone or Miss Sheila from day one before they ever move in, I'm setting the expectation from day one of what it's going to be like in my place. Because if not, you can't live here. So I don't hide my expectations, and that's some real good coaching for all of y'all right now. Put your expectations up front. This is no different from raising your children. When you raise your kids the right way, at the age of 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, they're going to be great people at age 12, 13, and 14.
You're teaching good.
But boy, if you don't raise them right, and now you're trying to raise them at 16 and 17,
teaching good, sir.
Boy, they're hard to handle. So you set your expectations with your children from the beginning, right? From age 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5.
You really have to.
No different from the people that we're housing, Nikki. So from day one, as I'm dapping up Carlos and we hugging and we dapping up each other, I'm saying, hey, man, these are my rules. And if you can abide by these rules, and Nikki, you got the rule book. It's page 6. If they can abide by page number 6, meaning no drugs, no alcohol, no outside company allowed here, meaning your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your friends from high school that you met 30 years ago, they can't come here. No destruction of property, right? Pay your rent on time, all the time, and early if you got the ability. If you can do all of that, you can stay in my place as long as you like.
Derek said, if you have,
come on, Shay.
If you have the ability,
Shay, pay your rent on time. This is my saying: pay your rent on time, all the time, and early if you have the ability. And why do I say that? Some of my guys get paid before their rent's due, if you know what I mean. Meaning they have the money already.
Yep.
So don't wait till the 1st if you got it on the 28th. Pay your rent.
You might end up with a little hole in your
pocket. You're going to go to the Nike store. You go to the little gas station down the corner that you love to go and buy all the little t-shirts and little trinkets. Pay your rent first. You know that was oldest thing now. Pay your rent first.
I have a good one, and then we need to get out of here. Again,
we're doing good. I'm over 1 minute. That's it. Go ahead.
Derek got one client, boy. He'll buy cologne till he can't find no more.
Oh my God, I got a client, y'all. He buy cologne every 4 to 7 days.
Yeah.
And I get into that another night, but y'all, he buy cologne almost once a week.
I'm just grateful he ain't in charge of his finances.
And lucky for me, his family pay his rent. right? And maybe we'll talk about that next time. So, guys, I hope that we said something tonight that encouraged all, enlighten you all. Nikki, let me know in the chat if I answered your question or did I just go on a tangent. But I think I did. We're going to deal with them by our rules and by setting expectation early from day one. Because the way that I'm moving everybody, I say, Charles, man, this interview went real good today, buddy. Now, do you agree with all of my rules that I just said? Because if you do, you can move in today. But Charles, if you got a problem with any one of these rules, let me know, big bro, because we can work this out now and I can find you another place to go.
Yeah.
See that? So now I'm being an HRA. I'm being a housing referral agency now. So if you haven't seen the HRA webinar or the original ILF webinar, please watch it and then let's get on the phone call together. And you do that by texting 2 words, more info. MOREINFO. Don't be like the people that text more info and you put your city, you put your state, you text a whole. Don't do any of that because I want my automation to work. So you just text more info.
That's it.
That's it. And then from that, the instruction gonna be put in your name, email address, and boom, now you get exactly what you need, which is that webinar. I want you to watch the ILF one and the HRA because in that email or text that you're going to get, my team going to send you both. The HRA is only 14 minutes long, y'all. And the ILF one is about 58 minutes long. I go deep on that one. But watch them both, especially if you don't have a house. The HRA is for people that don't have a house yet, but you still desire to house the homeless and the displaced. And it teaches you how to make an impact and an income without the need for a property. My name is Derek Forston, and I land my plane there. Thank y'all so much for being here. I super appreciate it. Shay, give your salutation, and we're going to let these people out of here tonight.
ILF family, join me on Telegram right after we
because Shay said she's going
I already
live.
said it. Yeah, okay. I said it. So
I think we went over some stuff, but Shay wanted to go a little deeper with y'all about something, and we will do that for the ILF Master Blueprint family. So jump on Telegram. In less than 3 minutes, Shay will be there. So let's close out. There's nothing else in the chat. Nikki says, I've been working on the HRA. Perfect. And good stuff. And I answered her question. So thank y'all so much, man. So we're going to end it like this. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all you can ever ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. You guys be great. And maybe we'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Maybe not. And then we'll see you guys next time. Y'all be good. Which one you were supposed to hit?